What's up everybody, welcome back to the 8th and final episode of our series, Making an App Using ChatGPT and Flutter. Last episode we completed the design phase for our app, so now we need to get it exported and uploaded into the Google Play Store so that people can actually use it. First step is going to be to export our app from Android Studio as an app bundle so that we can upload it to the Play Store. And Android Studio makes that really easy for us just using the build menu. Before we can actually upload our bundle into the Google Play Store, we have to create our Google Play account since we've never used Google Play before. And this is pretty easy too. It's pretty much just the same as setting up any sort of account online. So with that done, we need to create our first internal test release, which will be used for beta testing. For our beta testing, we want some human testers, and in my case, I'm just going to use some of my friends. So we upload our app bundle and we add our testers to a tester group, and then we're ready to publish our first test release. Now we can send the link to our beta testers, and they'll be able to follow that link to download the beta test of our app from the Google Play Store. We ended up getting some really good feedback from our beta testers that led to some improvements that we wanted to make before we made our final release. The main things we added were a help menu, a device vibration when the dice is rolled, and then we put in some work to create a feature where a player is removed from the game board when they're eliminated from that game and reinstated when you hit reset or when you restart the game. All of these updates required new beta releases in between and a lot of testing, and we ended up overall with 7 different beta releases before we reached the final product that we were happy with. But after that 7th beta test, we were pretty satisfied that the app was functioning exactly how we wanted it. So all that's left now is to create our production release. When it comes to the production release, Google Play has a lot more rules and restrictions and requires a lot more steps to be taken, mostly to protect the end user from any sort of fraud or scams or things like that that people might try to build into apps. One of the things that we needed to include for our production release was a privacy statement. So we actually used ChatGPT to script us a privacy statement, and then we read through it carefully, made a couple of changes, and it was pretty much ready to go. And even though Google Play requires a lot for that production release, they do lay it out nicely in a number of steps and walk you right through every step of the process. So it's actually not that hard, it's just a little bit time consuming. But once we got all of the paperwork complete, then all that's left is for Google Play to review our app before it gets released to the end users.
I'm so tired.
Now, I've heard and read a few things where Google Play might get the review done in a matter of hours. In our case, it's taking a number of days, and at the time of this recording, it's actually not through a review process yet. So as soon as it is, we'll be releasing it onto the Play Store for everybody to access if they want to. One thing that we can do in the meantime while we're waiting for that review to come through is we can set up the pricing for our app. Now, it would be really great to make some money with our newfound developer skills, and I think that it's totally possible. But for the first release of Dual Keeper, our app here, it's going to be free. Initially, we're going to list it in the Google Play Store for $2, but it's going to go on sale for $0 at the time of release, at least until we get the iOS version of the app built out and up and running. Which brings me to one thing that we haven't actually talked about in the series specifically yet, which is that all of this development that we've been doing has been specifically for Android devices. The release for iOS devices will require a little more development and actually will require us to use an Apple device using Xcode, the code editor from Apple. But the good news is we built our app in Flutter, and Flutter is a cross-platform framework, which means that we should be able to use most of the code from our Android app and move it over and use it for the Apple iOS app as well. But we'll see how easy it really is once we actually go to create that version of the app. But that's not going to happen right away. I'm going to give my brain a little bit of a break from all of the coding and all of that learning and actually focus more on where I'm going to take this channel from here forward. I'm going to be traveling for the next few weeks, but I plan to post some videos about why I'm starting this channel and what my goals are for it. If you watch the series, then you can probably tell that I'm very new to making content, and so this series is not just about making a Flutter app with ChatGPT. It's actually also a series about starting a YouTube channel from scratch. So my first intention for the channel is to continue to improve, to make better and more helpful content for everyone. And that brings me to the reason that I'm starting this channel. I've had my own personal struggles in my life, and just like everybody else, but I've been very blessed to have a lot of really meaningful people and experiences, and I've learned a lot of skills and concepts over time that have helped me get to where I am now, which is a place that I consider to be very successful in life. And I'm not rich, I don't have a lot of money, I have enough, but success to me is more that I have a life with people in it who I love and a life that I love living. And I'm very grateful for what I have. So I've been thinking for quite some time about how can I help other people feel as good about life as I've come to feel. And I've gone back and forth on different ways to do it and how to make that accessible to everyone. And I arrived at the idea that maybe creating some content, creating a YouTube channel, things like that, are a good way to create some opportunities for other people to learn skills that I've learned, concepts that I've learned, and the things that I've learned in my life so far that have really helped me a lot. So moving forward with this channel, my next intention is to make videos about those skills and concepts that I've learned that I think other people could benefit from. And many of these things are things that I think probably would have been helpful to me if I'd learned them earlier in life. But overall, they've gotten me to where I am, so I certainly can't regret anything. But hopefully, it will reach at least one person and change at least one person's life if I put some of these things out there into the world. And one of the biggest things that's transformed my life has been the realization that I have the ability to learn new skills and new concepts and apply them to make my life better. Hopefully this series is a small example of that, where we started in the first week of January this year, 2023, with very basic coding knowledge, basically a little bit of knowledge about the basics of computer programming and coding, and no knowledge of the Flutter framework or the Dart programming language, or ever having done anything and even researched how to build a mobile application. And in just under 2 months, we've gone from that spot through having a fully functional, developed, small application that we're going to actually get up onto the Google Play Store. So I really hope that this series inspires some people to get out there and learn new skills, or at the very least brightens up your day at least a little bit. And as soon as Google Play releases our app from review and it's available to everyone, I'll make an announcement, and I hope that you all will try it out and let me know what you think. Whether you have criticisms or you just want to say hi, I would love to hear from you in the comments. But for now, that's a wrap. If you enjoyed the video or if you've enjoyed the series, I really appreciate it if you consider giving it a thumbs up. If you want to be notified for the next video, please consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you soon.